Shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, giving infinite praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, Ruchakwadash, and giving double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom and salutation to all you sincere Akim across the four winds, pushing this truth with sincerity of heart. I'm your fellow servant, Kasam Gan from the DC camp, coming at you through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, Ruchakwadash, to feed the elect. Now, in this lesson, I really just want to quickly touch on this particular topic. It's really the biggest thing going on in the news right now, and it has to do with, of course, the Epstein files, right? It's basically more further proof that the United States, all right, of America, aka really the United Pedo States of America, it's the Virgin Babylon, the virgin daughter of Babylon, spoken of in the book of Revelation. All right, because what you realize, what we've always known, is that the heads, the Edomites, right, so-called right race, the heads of the Edomites are big-time pedophiles. All right, they're criminals, they're murderers, they commit all the sins, that you could ever think of. All right, and they have individuals that are agents that they use to go around and facilitate these crimes. But yet these Edomites, right, these devils lay down policies for others to follow, right, because they commit crimes, but then they set up laws where the average man cannot commit those crimes, right? So they set up laws of morality to hem up and destroy primarily you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. A lot of our people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives, are rotting in jail for petty crimes when the politicians, the bankers, the people who pass these laws, and act like they have the moral high ground. These are the supreme pedophiles that whom if their name was to be exposed, if that list was to be exposed, you would see their names, right? And Donald Trump and all these individuals, they're all a part of this, man. These are the nasty, dirty secrets of the United Pedo States of America, all right? But it's all right, though, because at the end of the day, man, this is a sign that the Lord is getting ready to do away with this place. I know, of course, the missiles, when you see what's going on recently in Israel, right, in the midst of Israel, you got that cockroach, Captain Tazaria, because to me he's just nothing but he's nothing but a cockroach. What do I mean by that? It's like what I've noticed with these wicked 2/3 false prophets is that when the prophecy starts to kick in, they usually kind of go into that hole, right? They usually crawl back into the hole in which they came from, and you don't hear nothing from them. And then, like example, we had when Israel and Iran was shooting missiles at each other, you didn't hear Captain Tazaria talking about that, that nonsense about John the Baptist not being in the truth, right? When prophecy kicks in, the roaches go back into the hole, and then when the missiles stop flying, it's like, okay, well, now then, the roach comes out. It's like, okay, it's my time to basically get on the scene and talk my shit, basically, right? So it's very unfortunate, but I've seen the reason why I'm saying, because I've noticed a pattern about these niggas when prophecy starts to kick in and it seems like we're really close to the possibility of an MOTB or societal collapse. Like, niggas don't be throwing out false doctrine, but the minute shit kind of goes into like a shit kind of simmers down a little bit, it is like right on time. And I really thought about it, man. I'm gonna say this before I continue to listen. I really thought about it, man. Like when Iran and Israel had a ceasefire, I was like, damn, because I knew, I was like, okay, anytime now, one of them niggas gonna come out with a false doctrine to irritate us, and that's just what these cockroaches do, man. So, but at the end of the day, there's still prophecy. All hell is still gonna break loose, and the Lord is exposing the United Pedo States of America. This is ABC News. It says DOG, Department of Justice, FBI review finds no Jeffrey Epstein client list confirmed suicide memo. All right. I mean, I'm hearing there's a lot of conspiracies out there as far as like the man might not even be dead. He might be under witness protection. Of course, it was a list, an actual list with some of the most powerful people on the planet. So you knew that list wasn't going to come out. And Donald Trump is, his mask is slowly but surely coming off in his second term, and even his supporters are starting to realize that he works for the Rothschilds. When you go back again, follow the money. When you follow Donald Trump's money, it goes all the way back to the Rothschilds. So when you understand it, you understand that people being played. This is chess, not checkers. It says a review ordered by President Donald Trump appointed leadership of the Justice Department and the FBI found no evidence that notorious deceased financier Jeffrey Epstein kept a client list of associates, right? And the crazy thing is they call him a financier, but like he made no trades financial. Like he didn't trade currency. He didn't have a portfolio. So how can you be a financier? But then when you look up Epstein, like he has no trace of having done no currency trades. He wasn't trading finances. He was trading little girls. That's how he made his money, right? That was Epstein's currency, and his clients were the most powerful people on the planet. All right, and some would say Donald Trump was a part of it, which I fully believe that as well. So again, Esau's being exposed. Now they don't want to show the list, but the Lord is going to ultimately blow this whole shit up. Not just this, all the secrets are going to come out eventually. It says, let me see. It says Jeffrey Epstein kept a client list of associates whom he blackmailed or conspired with victimize dozens of women, according to the new memo reviewed by ABC News. Right. So again, just as expected, nothing was gonna come out of this. When old boy Kennedy got his head parted in downtown Dallas in broad daylight, that was a message from the Rothschilds, and through Mossad and Israel, and because people think that the primary reason why he got smoked, it was because false flag. He didn't want. He stopped the Cuban Missile Crisis, but the main reason why Kennedy got smoked is because he wanted AIPAC, which is Israel's lobby, to register. According to the law, they have to register as a foreign entity, but AIPAC doesn't register as a foreign entity. They which is illegal. It's unconstitutional. So he wanted them to register so everybody knows that if your politician is attached to AIPAC, that means Israel owns them. So as you see right here, Israel owns all these politicians, including Donald Trump. Right. So yeah, these are truths that are, nothing got exposed, but everything got exposed. When Trump said what he said about, nothing to see over here, you're like, yeah, as expected, right? It says the department has also released hours of purported footage as part of its review, which officials say further confirms Epstein died by suicide while in custody in his jail cell in Manhattan 2019, which that tape doesn't show it. The tape, the actual camera that shows his cell was turned off right in that moment when he got quote unquote committed suicide. So there's no actual tape of him hanging himself. And so, again, it's Esau being Esau, man, right? It says, while in custody in his jail cell in Manhattan in 2019, contradicting conspiracy theories long embraced or spread by allies of President Donald Trump and others. Well, yeah, Trump's mask is coming off. That means that we should be a lot closer to a revolution. All right, whether it be a revolution when I say revolution, civil unrest, whether it be a revolution that sparked up from the Democrats, or a revolution that sparked up from the Republican, it doesn't matter. It's two wings of the same bird. It doesn't matter either way. The scripture speaks about that. All right, despicable, disgusting nation and its people, as an Israelite, you gotta want to be separated from this garbage, man. This is Isaiah 47:1. It says, "Come down, virgin daughter of Babylon, and sit in the dust, for your days of sitting on a throne have ended. O daughter of Babylonia, never again will you be the lovely princess, tender and delicate." Right. So for the longest time, Babylonia, aka the United Pedo States of America, is, when were looked at as a princess, delicate princess, the riches and the entertainment, Hollywood, capitalism. But what what you realize now is that it was really all ran by not only the devil that the Bible speaks of, these Edomites, but witchcraft, all right, in the enslavement of the nation of Israel, and trafficking, all right, trafficking people, trafficking children, trafficking women. So again, eventually it was gonna happen. The exposure was gonna happen, all right. And you don't have to basically expose the names. The fact that everybody knows that there's been shit going on, and you say, nah, there's nothing going on. That, again, that's a form of exposure, as well. Damn, that's crazy thunder out there. All right, so let's keep going. Isaiah 47:2, it says, "Take heavy millstone and grind flour. Remove your veil and strip off your robe. Expose yourself to public view." All right, this is the United Pedo States of America being exposed in public view. All right, like, we know there was some dirty shit going on. For you to say, nah, there was nothing, it's just like, damn, devils being devils. It's to the point where even certain other Edomites cannot believe, they have to cope with the fact that their empire is the evil empire, right? Quoting Star Wars and the Death Star and the evil empire, right? When you get the Republic and the Galactic Republic, the evil empire with the Sith Lords, you got Edomites that still believe that God bless America and God loves America. So they're Bible thumpers and all that, but they so-called Christians. But they're starting to realize that their government, their empire, this nation, is actually the axis of evil. It's the axis of evil. It's the evil empire, basically. All right, and if you're really about that Bible, what happens to the evil empire. It's going to collapse in a very violent manner. So this is what Tucker Carlson had to say. And let me see if I can play this right quick. Let's see what he has to say. It says, Tucker Carlson warns Trump could spark a revolution with very dangerous Epstein cover-up. Right?
Like, I don't want to see mass violence or any of these other...
Well, you're a married father.
Yeah,
you're
right.
Like, I am too. It's
right.
Totally vested in the future of the country.
Exactly. I don't want that to happen.
No!
But as an analyst or as somebody familiar with history, somebody who has an audience and can pick up on social trends, people are mad as hell right now. They are angry.
Too mad.
Angry.
Too mad.
Yes.
No, I agree. I'm legit.
Yeah.
That Epstein thing, it's not even about Epstein. I think I know what the Epstein thing was. Everybody knows what it was. I think YouPorn is the same thing.
Yes.
They're collecting information to blackmail people on YouPorn. Do you think a foreign government doesn't have access to the back end of YouPorn? I think they do. And so I get it. I understand, everyone knows what's up. But to insult the population by saying, no, you're a conspiracy theorist, it's like, I think you're really playing with fire when you do that.
Especially when you said the conspiracy and then now revert
it's
to
too
the
much.
lie.
It's too much.
That is too much.
Do you know, can you call Pam Bondi and say, I think Pam Bondi's under a ton of pressure. Again, I've always liked Pam Bondi. I know her. I think she's under enormous pressure. I don't know how good she is under pressure. I'm trying to be nice. But I don't think that she's like a sinister person who is, doing the work of Leon Black and Ehud Barak on purpose, really. But I wonder if they know this is a real thing here.
They have to know. And the reason why I think they have to know is that the breadcrumbs that got us to this moment have already been sprinkled. Kash Patel testified and said it was suicide. Went on the Joe Rogan podcast and said, if I had that information, don't you think I would tell you? He killed himself. I mean, that was basically, this was an enshrinement of many of the things that they'd already put out there. And the criticism and really the outrage over each of those individual comments, let's say the so-called Epstein files released with many of the influencers, there was outrage at every step. So they're not stupid.
But how can you say that thousands of children were raped, but I'm not going to find out who raped them?
Yeah.
How can you say that?
I agree completely.
They said that. By the way, when Pam Bondi went on television and said, I have a videotape of kids getting abused, I followed this case closely, and I know a lot of the people involved, as I've told you.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea. I didn't know that. Really? Thousands of children got raped?
Yeah.
Who raped them? Where are the rapists? Like, why aren't they in jail? What? This is the Department of Justice.
Yes.
That is so crazy. This is honestly one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And I just think it's very dangerous to.
So yeah, fair use, by the way, man. I mean, you heard Tucker Carlson, again, as even lower level Edomites are baffled by what's going on, because it's the realization that your empire was always the evil empire. Like, you are the devil, you're sponsored by the spiritual demon Satan, and you're nothing but the United Pedo States of America, and that's basically what it is, man. But all these secrets are gonna be revealed, by Yahweh by Shemel Shah, man. We as prophets, we just here to see it, monitor, measure the times, and keep our faith. All right. This is I'm gonna conclude with Daniel's chapter 2, verse 46. Subtitled Daniel Promoted, right? And this is basically when the Most High is revealing all types of secrets and the visions to Daniel, to King Nebuchadnezzar. Now, this is Daniel 2 and 46. Then the king Nebuchadnezzar fell upon his face and worshipped Daniel, and commanded that they should offer an oblation and sweet orders unto him. The king answered unto Daniel and said, then this is Nebuchadnezzar, a heathen, right? Of a truth it is, Salakia, that your power, Yahweh by Shemal Shah, is a power of gods and a Lord of kings and a revealer of secrets, seeing thou couldst reveal this secret. All right, so, hey, Yahweh by Shemal Shah is a revealer of secrets, man. And he's going to continue to reveal the secrets of Babylon the Great, the United Pedo States of America. And even though we don't see names and all that, the more they denies in the open things that everybody knows, the more everybody is realizing, because this is something that spreading out across the world. Like, the whole world is like, oh, so y'all are big time pedophiles and y'all are covering this shit up. You are indeed the great Satan. So the eyes of the world are waking up to this stuff, man. So again, it just adds on into the shameful spewing of Babylon the Great. And so that's basically what I wanted to touch for today through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Shah. So I'm going to say, Kal Halayim La Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, Wachakwadash, giving double honors to our apostles and elders of great millstone, and Shalom and salutation to you, sincere Akim. Shalom.